me get my pen out over here, my trusty piece of paper. So I got some kind of an idea what we're talking about. So I'll remember. So you got, it's a duplex
Yes.
and it brings in between what, 650 and 750 a unit?
Yeah.
What's the purchase price on it?
All right. All better.
Wow. That's the music on hold. They want you to hang up, you know, they
There we
play
go.
that stuff. So go ahead. So what's the purchase price on this?
20.
20,000.
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead. What else? It needs 60 to 70,000 in work.
No, it needs 20 to 30.
And that's in repairs.
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
That's it.
There any debt on the property right now?
I haven't gotten all that information. I believe it's free and clear.
Okay.
I'm just
So how'd the
curious.
conversations go with your seller so far? They just, how'd you come across this?
Through Facebook, I think it was.
Okay.
And we haven't had a great an actual conversation. I'm supposed to trying to get back with them tomorrow. I'm just curious if this would be something that would be worth looking into or not.
Well, have you, I'm looking at, if you can buy something for $20,000 that you're going to have $50,000 in, that's going to throw off 650 to 750 a month. Yeah,
No,
that sounds,
no, it's 2 units. So that would be
650 and 750 a month. Yeah, it sounds really cheap.
That sounds like something to pursue.
Yeah, it sounds really cheap. Sounds like cheapy money. That's something I'd look at. Definitely look into. Now, if the guy only wants 20 grand, I mean, you haven't got too many ways to structure a deal with this guy. You know, you can ask him to hold the 20 until maybe you get some time down the road, you start putting some money into this thing, because no banks are going to want to loan you any money to fix it. Depends. Or you just buy it. Maybe if he wants 20, give him 15 or 10 for it. I don't know. Have you seen the property yet? Probably not.
Yeah, pictures, but I have been by the property before. They just dropped it down 5 grand for, they were asking 25 for it. They finally contacted me back today, but probably about a half hour ago.
Okay.
So I figured, you know what, I'd chit chat with you guys, see what, if it'd be something to pursue or not.
What do you got to lose? 20
Nothing.
grand? I'm not telling you to throw the guy a check. I'm telling you that you've already seen the property, you say, right?
Mhm.
So if is it worth 20 grand the way it sits? Help me out here, Justin. It just sounds incredibly cheap. And the return on what you're going to put into this thing sounds incredible.
Yeah.
So
it's Toledo.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Well, so you don't like the neighborhood, in other words, right? Is that what you mean?
It's got its potential. There's so many areas out here in Toledo that are just garbage that they're revitalizing.
It was kind of hit like Detroit, right? Back when Detroit, everybody knows Detroit really was devastated. Toledo, along with Detroit, was really, really hit hard, I think, right?
Yeah, they've always referred to Toledo as Little Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, how's the housing now? The people are still looking for places to live, right?
Yes. Yes.
When I started doing houses in Detroit, we had to move somebody into the place just so we could get the house, get the renovations going, turn on the utilities, get the generator, and as soon as we started getting close to getting the house done, we go and put the guy into the next house and get this one sold off, so I don't know how it is out there with vandalism and all the rest of that. That's a whole nother conversation. But I don't know.
That's a 50-50. I mean, you'll get some shit areas that nobody will mess with anything, and then you'll have some good areas that will get messed with, and vice versa.
Yeah. Does Toledo have like a group? How do I explain this? Where a group of investors or city money or federal money, they'll pay you to buy this house and renovate it?
I've heard from another investor that they do. It's a bunch of paperwork and stuff that I've never done before.
If they want to get it done, you're not going to make it all that terrible. Contact the mayor's office. Say, listen, hey, I'm looking at some properties. What's the deal? You're looking. I'm sure there's a shortage of property. I'm sure there's a shortage of good rentals out there. They have a housing shortage. If you're going to start going into these areas, you don't want to work with your money. Wouldn't it be great to work with the government's money?
Oh, absolutely.
Or some kind of a guarantee. Let's say you put up to 50 grand, the purchase op, the purchase money and the repairs. They give you the money back for the $30,000 in repairs. And in 5 years, forgive the loan. Or 10 years, forgive the loan. You got to sign an agreement. You're only going to do, I don't know, Section 8 or God knows whatever. But
Right.
there's people out there that have had a lot. You should go to the local RIAs there. Do you belong to any RIA there?
I did. I didn't renew it during the COVID stuff because they weren't doing anything. I was thinking about rejoining.
There you go. Because they'll have contacts with the local municipalities and all that usually.
Right.
Get on the phone, pick up the phone and call the president of the RIA. Tell them what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar. I know her. I've talked to her several times. So
Don't put the house under an option.
Okay.
Or put it under contract and go see if you can sell it. Hustle it the way it is. That's not a pay. That's a short payday. I don't like doing short paydays. I like forever money.
Right.
All right. So look at Kenneth back there nodding his head. Yep. So I like forever money. But you know what? If you're going to forever money in a deal like this, is you're going to be a landlord probably for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and then do you have the stomach for it? Do you have the systems for it? If you're just getting started, you got this could be a cheap way to get into it, but you got to know what you're doing. This might not be an ideal first one to do if you got to put 30 grand into the thing.
Yeah, it needs a lot of work. They've redone majority, probably 95% of the windows. I think there's a couple of windows left that aren't new. The exterior's been painted, roof's new. It's going to need all mechanics, floors, all need.
Did they steal all the copper out of it?
No, not all of it.
How long has the house been empty?
Not all of it, he said.
That I don't know. It's been a few years.
Some municipalities, once a home's been empty a certain period of time, when the new owner comes in, he's got to bring it up to current code.
Okay.
And that might cost a fortune,
Right.
So you know what you do? I just put it under, if you just want to play with it and see how it goes. Have you done any deals yet?
Nope.
So go put it under contract.
Okay.
All right. Just give them $10, put it under contract, 90-day close, 120-day close, stretch it out. And give yourself some time to market it and see if you can find somebody you can make 5-10 grand with.
Okay.
And because you got nothing to lose, or put it under an option. So listen, I want to buy an option. I got a right to buy this property over, within 90 days, 120 days, whatever, for 20 grand, or give them 25 grand for it, whatever the case may be. And all you're going to do is sell your contract, your option agreement. You might get 5 grand for it. Who knows? I would market that to if you know for sure, well, as close as you can, that the rents are as high as those numbers are. They're not off the charts, but for this kind of investment, that's really cheap.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the average rent between $550. Like for a 1-bedroom, you're looking at $550 to $650. How
many bedrooms are we talking about here?
A total of four bedrooms, 2 baths, so 2-1 and 2-1. So it's closer to $750.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd advertise it to landlords.
Toledo, like I said, Toledo, the rents are high, I think, but then again, they're low. But for what you're getting, they're high, if that makes sense.
I personally know of, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, I want to encourage you about Toledo because I personally know of a guy who raised about $2 million in private money from landlord investors that were like from California and other places around the country to buy rental properties in Toledo. So there's got to be, there's got to be something to that, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, Memphis,
there's a lot of,
downtown Alabama,
Yeah.
downtown Atlanta, all these places 10 years ago were sad places, man.
There's a lot of overseas people investing in Toledo.
Well, there you go. I mean, so it looks ugly on the outside, maybe, but on the inside, there's a lot of money there, right?
You know what? You can make money, stack a bunch of them together, go out and sign up 10 or 15 or 20, as many as you can. Just whatever they want, give them whatever they want. And then go put them on your website. And all of a sudden, you might say, listen, guy, if you're going to go to investors and you're going to go to landlords and that kind of thing, these fixer-upper guys, this is more like a landlord kind of thing. That's your out on this. Is to advertise to them and say, listen, I got more than one. I got 10 of them. I got 5 of them, whatever. And have something for them to go look at. If all you got sitting on the shelf is one house,
right?
Just don't, if you got 10 of them sitting there and all you did was put them under option, that's it. Now listen, I can pick one. You can take all of them, or you can take one. Go pick one, and call me when you're ready to send me a check. Goodbye. That's it.
Okay.
First come, first wins.
Right.
So go put a bunch, whatever they want, just put it on the contract, but try to look for the ones that you're not going to get anything through a realtor. You got to go through, for sale by owners and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, do you live far away from this place?
No, it's probably about 10 minutes.
Go drive for dollars and go start taking down names and numbers. Drive for dollars, go back home, get the addresses, send them a postcard, send them a letter, send them something to the owner of the property. Or you might have to skip it to find out where the owner's gone or whatever,
Oh, yeah, another thing I do is I'll check Aries, which is the city auditor.
Who cares? I'm sorry, for values?
No, that can give that's where the owner's addresses and stuff are.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, well, you can do all that, whatever. But I'm saying don't spend a lot of time getting values together and all that.
Yeah, no.
Just go ride. If you can ride and you're around in your car for an hour and you pick up 30 or 40 of these addresses,
right?
And you get somebody that say, listen, how about I give you 25 grand for this thing? Oh, you give me 25. Yeah. Put on an agreement, an option agreement, and you get your guys in, and all of a sudden the best option you can find, the best buy you find is 15,000. So call. Say, listen, ain't gonna work out. All I can get you is 10. You're in or you're out. You don't say it like that. You get Coach Victor on there and he makes it nice and smooth for you. He puts the lettuce on the sandwich,
The like butter.
I cut the guy's arms off. I'm not the guy to negotiate.
Hey, good question, but Kenneth Cole has his hand up now and he wants to talk. You don't need to raise your hand, brother.
He's shy, man. I'm telling you.
You can just speak up around here because we're just a bunch of dudes.
Well,
we're supposed to be having beer or whatever we want right now, too, by the way, right?
It's encouraged. Shots are even better. Jonathan, I answer your question. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Go for it, man. Start lining the contracts up. Don't be shy. That's all. Kenneth, what's going on?
I can't hear you, Kenneth. I don't know why. I see your lips moving, but I don't hear the voice.
He's just messing with us.
Yeah, I still can't hear you,
man.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you as soon as
in the house.
If you want to test us, you can say testing, like that. We'll know it's you.
Hervek is in the house. Victor, Mag, Jason slid in when nobody was looking. All right, man. It's kind of dark in that room there, Jason.
It is. I'm at my mother's new place. I just got her moved in yesterday. Finally.
How'd it all go?
Good, man. Good. The biggest part was getting her old house cleaned up. Everything. I turned the keys in today, so
cool.
Good.
Very good. Yeah. So that's one big thing off your back.
Good to see it. And the good thing is her new place still has all the copper in it.
Wow. Hey, there you go.
Thank God.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a nice facility. It is.
After I started selling houses in Detroit, I bought every house. Imagine this, guys. This wasn't fraud. Listen to this. It had to be 12 years ago. bought every house on one block, on both sides of the street. $500 a house, $500 to the wholesaler, $1,000 a house, and every single house was a foreclosure back to Deutsche Bank. How is that possible? Now I can show you how to buy. I think it was 16, 18 houses I wound up buying. I almost lost money with them. I wound up selling them on not Craigslist. What's the
eBay?
I'm sorry.
eBay.
I sold them on eBay.
What? Get out of here!
I had someone to get rid of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Sold them on eBay.
He sold them to me.
I might have. Who knows?
Wow.
You bought the whole neighborhood, huh?
The copper or the homes?
Shit. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Did you sell the copper or the homes? I'm just
half
kidding.
the houses, the coppers were gone.
Yeah.
They'd move out of the house at 4. They'd move out of the house at 4. By 9 o'clock the next morning, you go back and say, "This is a whole different house. What happened to my windows? Where is everything? They screwed everything." You know.
Oh man. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Obviously.
It was that time.
Yeah.
It was that time. Anyways, so we have Kenneth. You back in?
No,
you?
You can't
Sorry?
hear me.
I
You
can
can't
hear
hear
you
me.
now.
Now you can. Okay.
Sure, man. What's going on? How can I help you?
Can you hear yourself?
No, I cannot. I can just
Sometimes that's better.
Thank you. Thank you. I love coming to hang out with you guys. Oh my gosh.
This is good energy.
First of all, good evening, everyone from sunny Gilbert, Arizona.
Hey, welcome.
Okay.
Actually, I think I might have locked up a potential deal this evening. It's in How do you guys say this? Spokane or Spokane? What the hell?
Okay.
Spokane.
Okay, it's in Spokane, Washington.
Spokane.
You can say the S word here. It's okay.
Okay. The real question is not necessarily the deal. It's how to keep your buyer's agent on track to follow the instructions that you actually typed up and sent to them that specifically said what the LLC name was supposed to be, when the proof of funds was going to be there. I mean, how do you control the buyer's agent?
How do you control the buyer's agent? You're using
Well, is it a
realtor
female
to buy
or
a
a
house?
male? No,
Female, and I'm using her to buy a house.
Maybe you buy her dinner. Maybe a nightcap. Like after. I don't know, man. I'm just shooting. Maybe you just need to win her over a little bit.
Talk to Victor.
What kind of problems are you having?
Well, the first thing is that I indicated exactly what the buyer's name was supposed to be, because I have to use transactional funding on any deal I do.
Yeah,
so they assigned me a name. Specifically, it's FSD 996 LLC.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the hell that means. And I put for example only because I actually indicated she was supposed to enter and or my designated entity.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote it. I think that's black and white. I think I can read. Yeah,
right.
I can read. And I'm looking at the contract that she wants me to ratify and then sign. And it's got London Sawyer Group LLC. There is definitely no and or my designated entity. That's the start. And then
Who's
she has
London Sawyer?
London Sawyer is one of my entities, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool name.
Thank you. And she's got me down for 3 days. After 3 days, I have to provide the EMD money. And then I required on Article 10 of my statement that the seller has to agree to use my buyer's title of choice. And for whatever reason, out there in Spokane, they have the seller opened up escrow already at their title company.
Yep.
So before I get into any kind of a spitting match with this lady, how does that work, guys?
Well, the title company situation you should have probably been dealt with first, but the seller will oftentimes pick their escrow company, especially in like Spokane. they'll pick their own.
Okay.
So now you have to find out if they will follow your instructions.
Okay.
Right? Because it's just a matter of instructions, right? If they'll go along with what you go along with, then you're fine. It doesn't really matter unless you have some sort of relationship that, you know, or they're requiring you to use that particular title company.
Okay.
Are they?
That's what she indicated when I had a brief speech with her.
Your lender.
My lender?
Yeah. Are they requesting a particular one, or you chose that?
They are requesting a particular one, except that I have to get that list again. But I believe American is the appropriate title company, escrow company I'm supposed to use. I have no idea who Fatco is. It's
the first American title.
Yeah, is the one I want to use, but the seller has it as SCT, which is some sort of Spokane something title.
Okay.
Yeah. So
so they're probably a subsidiary of somebody because they sound too small. They're probably owned by someone else. So you know, you could still go and request that she change that you request to use your own title company and just kind of strong arm them. Look, if you want to close this, we need to switch this title over to my company.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're in the driver's seat now.
Can I interject there that
please?
I would recommend, just personally, maybe you guys disagree, but I would recommend not making a huge issue out of the title company just yet. Getting ink on the paper and then finding out that title company cannot close the transaction the way you need to close it, for example, would be a great way to go back to the seller and say, hey, listen, we're ready to close up next week, but unfortunately, this title company has been a problem for us. Is there any way that we can close at another title company and we're ready to go? Can you run that past the seller? Okay, so I don't know, I don't want to say bait and switch, but it maybe could be labeled that a little. That's what I recommend. What do you guys think? Do you guys do it differently?
Because I think he already has the signed contract and everything, right?
No. I'm reviewing it. I did not get far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm reviewing exactly what they have on the contract before I sign it and commit to giving them the EMD and getting into
why don't
this.
you just take the agreement that they sent you, cross it out, mark it up, change what you want, and fax it back to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It's just
mark it up and change it and send it back to them. Say, can we get this done?
Okay.
And then you know what you do after that? If they're still going back and forth, pick up the damn phone and call them.
Yeah.
If you're
exactly right.
I think I would not let the deal break though.
No.
Over the title company question, I would probably not let the deal break over the or my company designation after the buyer's name.
Okay.
If you're going to double close, I don't know why you would really need that necessarily. You could get away without that.
Okay.
And then the 3-day, the 10-day, you could probably, fight for some of that.
Okay.
But the other stuff, I would, you kind of picking your battles here a little bit of what's important for me to have and what I could maybe get around without. That's just my advice.
If you're still negotiating the contract, it sounds like.
No, sir. So that has been settled at
okay. So then mark it up and send it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Just put on there whatever. If your company is requiring that you do some stuff, just put that on the contract when you mark it up and send it back to them.
Perfect. I am so pleased that I have you guys. Now, before it sounds like I'm brown nosing, it isn't. I really, really appreciate you guys. You have no idea.
I'm dropping my straps in, man.
I don't talk to people, as Justin knows. So this is great. I mean, every time I even see you smiling, happy faces, I'm on cloud 9.
Steve, I like
Keep
you too,
it
Steve.
simple.
Sorry, I can't do that.
When you go back to this bank, this title company, or whoever you're doing this with, keep it simple.
Oh, you are so right. Okay.
Right.
Now, may I very quickly
don't get too much in the fiducia, because you know what? When you guys put this together, you're gonna have an attorney close this on your end.
No, it's up there in Spokane, so it's just gonna be whatever the transaction.
How expensive a property is it?
Thank you. It's $235,000. It's completely gutted.
All right,
It's
all right. I just want to hear the 235 plus you got more investment money in there.
yes.
All right. And you plan on flipping this thing and selling it right away?
That's why I'm doing a double close.
Yeah, well, you better have an attorney.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it without an attorney.
Okay.
Some guys will say, no. I'm telling you, for that kind of money, all right, and you can put all this work into this thing and be at the altar at church and you're ready to go, and this thing blows up or you forgot something. Spend the grand, spend $800, whatever, $500, whatever the local is. Get an attorney through the local RIA. It does a lot of these. And just tell him and get him on the phone and tell him what you're doing. If you feel comfortable, I don't know how the rest of you guys would bring an attorney in. I would. Especially if the guy's not local.
Oh yeah. I'm going to go ahead. Exactly what you say, Coach Steve. I'm not playing with this game because if this blows up, I don't have 235,000. And then I'm on the hook and breaking contracts. Not good.
Well, it could be worse. It could be worse than that. You want to close on this?
Yes, I want to
close. What
close.
happens if your buyer walks away?
My buyer shouldn't walk away because his name is Lee Arnold, and he is the biggest wholesale buyer in Spokane, Washington. And it just so happens I'm one of his students.
So he sold you already. So
yeah, he already. Justin, that's part of that big, huge number I described to you.
What's your markup on this?
My markup, I'm aiming for at least 35, 40,000.
So why don't you just assign it to him?
I'm glad you said that because if I do an assignment, there's a lot of legislation going on right now involving assignments. I'm sure you've heard of Atlanta, Illinois.
Yeah, that's great. I don't care about all that. This is you're going to a business. You're not talking about you're not doing with a consumer. Most of those laws are out there to protect the consumer.
Correct.
All right. You're not dealing with a consumer. So I think you'll be all right. Get this guy on the phone. Tell him, listen, here's what I want to do. What do you want to do? You want to you're going to make me double close this, or listen, it's going to cost me $5,000, to chase the turtle around the table. How about I just knock $5,000 off this thing and you make it happen?
Yeah,
works for me. Exactly. Yes,
they haven't illegalized assignments everywhere for
not
all
everywhere.
Reasons and all purposes.
And you got to have somebody that's going to make a problem.
Gotcha.
If you're dealing with a guy that's already been training you, and you don't know what he's going to do with this thing, who cares? You know what? Yeah, here's the contract. Give me a check. See you later. Have a good day.
I know a guy who does marketing over the phone, cold calling for a business, for a living, makes a lot of money doing it. Mm-hmm. And they don't ever run it through a do not call scrubber or nothing like that. And,
wow.
And then the question is, well, why would you put yourself at risk? And he's like, well, I'm not selling anything. I'm actually calling to see if I can buy.
And I'm like, a whole nother ballgame.
And I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Because that makes a lot of sense. And so I guess what I'm saying is the sky's falling always. There's always that Chicken Little syndrome, especially nowadays with everything. But man, there's always a way around. They close a window and open the garage door, so to speak.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay, so very, very quickly, just to recap. Right now, there is no and/or assigns. So I don't know if this contract specifically states that it's not assignable. And going back to you, Coach Victor, every contract's assignable unless it specifically says so. That's so correct. I want to protect myself with the and/or assigns my designated entity. So if I do the straight assignment, Coach Steve, I can just, like you said, I'm done, out, give me my $5,000. Mm-hmm. I like that. So.
Or put it in an entity that you can just transfer and sell over.
Okay, I could. That's exactly what that craziness with the FSD 996 was. It's actually an entity that can be just sold to the new cash buyer. It's just part of the package.
Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up. I'm ready.
Come on. Well, I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to complicate it.
All right. I'm done. I don't know about anybody else. Let's move on to some jokes over sexist. I'm damn thing. Good Lord.
All right, needs another shot now.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. You know what you got to do. Just sign this damn thing and walk away. No double closings. No, just keep it simple.
Got it.
If the guy, if your end buyer is the guy that's training you, and he says he's got fat pockets, then he knows what you do. He knows you're going to mark the thing up. Just get him on a damn phone. Say, listen, you want the contract after you have it. Okay. Do it. You don't need an attorney. Just get an assignable contract. It doesn't have to be in your face in the beginning and or assigns. Like Victor's like Victor, I believe, was telling you, every contract's assignable unless in the verbiage of the contract it says you cannot transfer this contract. And even that's transferable.
Yes, it is.
Move the damn put it in an LLC, put it in a corporation, move that. You can do that too. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
All I want to see is a check next week, baby. You understand?
Hey, it'll be my pleasure, sir. Absolutely.
It's like a whole new way of thinking.
It is.
And I like it.
You guys actually instill the real necessary and needed confidence to be able to do this. And that's priceless. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. We'll be waiting for your check. All right.
20%.
Mag, what's going on, Mag? Anything going on this week?
Yeah, I got something for you, Steve.
Go ahead, man.
So I received a call from one of my abandoned signs, I think. So this guy wants to sell a property, and I'm like, okay, tell me more. And then he's telling me about the property that it's worth $345, and he wants $220. So I was like, okay, great. And let's how do you want to do this? And then he's like, yeah, I actually need you to come here because it's from a lady. I think he takes care of the lady, right? And so I went to the kitchen table. I went to the house. I saw the lady there, and they need to close fast because the lady's actually not feeling well. So I went there, put in the contract to 20, and I saw the property. I saw the property on PropStream. They have 260 in equity, and the property is really worth around 345. But with the comps, and they did actually a report, to find out how much the property is worth, and the comps there were like 375, 400, and 350, and the property came back at 345, right? So that we have a report, showing everything. So I get this property out on Facebook, and I start calling my realtors. I check out, who's my buyers for this, and I see, okay, do you have a cash buyer? I ended up finding a couple of people, and then I did a showing to one guy. This guy is actually interesting, but he's like, I market the property to 299.9, and I have it under contract for 220. So this guy, he wants to buy it. Yesterday, I showed him the property on Sunday. He wants to buy it, and then he came back to me for 255. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to get back to him now. He didn't answer the phone, but
he's got no money. He's doing what you're trying to do. He wants to wholesale it. Next.
So I went there today with a realtor that they found 2 cash buyers for me. I noticed that the realtors, the 2 cash buyers, they were like very picking everything. Like the roof was like this, and then there's something in the basement, and this and this.
Who cares?
And I was like, okay, but the realtor didn't give me, the numbers that the realtor was giving me. I needed to let go for like I don't know, probably 200,000. That's the number. I was like, what? No, that doesn't make sense. So basically, at this point, and then at the end, the realtor was like, oh, it might be a good idea, so you can put it on the MLS. Of course, he wants the business. So I was like, nah, okay, let me see what I can do. But at this point, tomorrow, I'm gonna, send a test blast out for the landlord investors around. I'm gonna see what I can get. But at this point, that's where I am with this property. They need to close fast. And there was some bottles along the way. So, the guy wasn't too keen when he saw like, oh, you're going to wholesale this property, because I sent it to the lawyer. I went a little bit too fast. I sent it to the lawyer, and the lawyer, came back with the paperwork, and then I was going to send it to him so she can sign it. But he then read the whole thing. He saw that I wasn't a cash buy. I was gonna sign the deal, and he started, making some assumptions. And I was like, hey, listen, what do you really want to do here? And then he started telling me that he wants to he needs to get her a hotel because they need to go to a hotel and whatnot because they need to leave the
Are
property.
you sure these people really own this property?
Oh yeah, no, I saw her name. Yeah, they do. And then I was like,
Did you
okay.
ask her for ID and all that?
No, I didn't. Her, no.
Whoever, I mean, whoever's name is on that contract.
Yeah.
You want it, man, because they're giving you this house really cheap.
Right.
There's a big spread here. Now,
Yeah.
why you?
What do you
That's
mean?
the first question you ask. Why are they giving it? Why are they giving you? Why are they willing to give you all this money? First thing. All right. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but make sure you know who you're doing business with. Your contract reads Mary Smith. Man, let me see your driver's license. Let me see some ID. I need double ID, and it's going to have to be notarized. I would start there because, man, I've seen, and I myself got burned when some deals look too good to be true. Victor, right? When two deals looks too good to be true. If you confirm and this is really the owner of the property, then I take it to the next step. Who do you want your buy? Is the house in really good shape?
Yeah, it's in good shape. I mean, it does need some work for sure.
How much work does it need?
I would say like 40, 40,000 tops.
Okay, 40 grand. And the house
30,
is worth
40.
340, 350?
Yeah, 345, yeah.
345, and you want 300 for it.
Well, actually, I market for that for landlord investors to buy and
They're never
hold.
going to buy it. If the house is only worth 350, they ain't going to give you 300 for it.
Yeah, so
Not if it needs 400, not if it needs 40 grand. Do the numbers, man. They're going to want some kind of a spread. They're going to want at least 10 to 15% to play with. So if you put 40 grand into this house right now, it's only going to be worth 350.
Right.
Yeah, you're asking too much money.
Okay.
So the guy with this, is this a house you could sell on FHA? Is it rotted wood and needs paint flaking and all that?
No, it passed inspection. He has the inspection report.
Then that's great. So then instead of going for a landlord, why don't you list it on the internet? You list it with a realtor.
Well, if he has an inspection report, that makes me feel a little better about the identification thing, maybe. A little bit, right?
I don't know. They don't check the title. They don't ask for owners.
Well, but why would a scammer pay for an inspection report? Or maybe you invented it. I don't know. That's never mind.
Listen, I like to look at each end of the coin.
Right.
When it comes to, I want to know who I'm doing business with. This is a lot of money, and there's a lot of scams out there. A lot of scams. So just be careful. If you're satisfied with that end of it, you could list this on the MLS, do a self-listing yourself. You don't need to bring in a realtor. You could just do the front half yourself, pay one of these flat rate guys, list it on the MLS, and then go ahead and deal with the agents on the back end.
What's the going flat rate guy charging right now? 500?
Depends where in the country you are. It's different rates all over the country. When I do one down in Florida, I think it's $100 or $150.
Okay.
I do one in Alabama, it's like 100. Do one in New York, you can drop thousands. Who knows?
So Steve, if I get the site to list it with the MLS, what type of buyers am I being getting? Everybody?
Who cares? As long as all I want is somebody that'll close.
Right.
Well, but they need to close in 2 weeks.
Well, that's not going to be it. Then you need a cash buyer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So then draw up your text, blow those out. I'd ask the realtor if you got any serious cash buyers. Look on PropStream and go around on PropStream and look and see who the cash buyers were inside the general area in the last like 4 or 5 months. Pull all those cash buyers up and back and skip trace them and get a hold of them and talk to the agents. Talk to the buyers, talk to the agents that did it all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Go on the Zillow, and you can look on Zillow and find out who the agent was that sold the house. And you know what? If you come across, you do that on You find a guy that's got 5 or 6 houses, and the same agent sold all the houses. That's your guy. Call that agent. Especially if the houses are in the same type of thing, the same realm. They need work. The guy paid cash. He didn't finance it, So that's what I would do with that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you only got 2 weeks to go. Can you get an extension on it?
I think so. But let me ask you, if I get it, how should I transition that to an option?
What do you got now?
I got a regular purchase and sales.
Good.
Okay.
Good. They think they're selling the house. That's good. But you might have to go back to them. What part of the country is this in? You in the snow belt?
No, this is in New Jersey here.
Yeah, you're in a snow belt. You tell them everything's slow. I can't get. I got people who want to close, but they're not going to get mortgages that quick. You got to give me 60 more days.
Okay.
That's for 90. I can always ask you, even if you get 30, it's 30 more than you got now.
Yeah.
So listen, we're just coming off of New Year's. All the banks are running slow. Even my investors all want to go to the bank and get money today. So I want to work with you. I got some guys that are very, very interested, but it's going to take more time to close. And if they scream, just keep the thing going. What you're doing right now, get the game is going to be that that you find these cash buyers and you make that happen. You only got 2 weeks, man. I mean, I'd go like hell right now, but you let anybody else know they got to close in 2 weeks that your contract expires. To me, it's the same thing as telling them, listen, in 3 weeks, you can buy this without me.
Mm-hmm.
On
the beginning, he complained about, I put like 30 business days. And then, I said, listen, I'm not married to the contract, right? And we can do, whatever you think. How many days you need? And then the guy was
you got to be realistic. Unless you got the money in your account, you're ready to write a check. Are you ready to buy this house for that money?
No. He knows that I'm gonna.
Would you want to bring a private lender in? Is there another way to do this deal? What would the house rent for?
2,200.
2,200. How much is it? How much is the house?
The house right now 220.
And is it rentable the way it is?
It's rentable, yeah. It's livable.
It is. Hold on a minute. How much are the taxes there?
Well, 4,500, but it's gonna go up. Remember, the taxes are low because it's been there for a while.
I wouldn't go crazy with that. 220,000. Let's go crazy. Let's give somebody 10% interest. So what is it? 22,000 divided by 12. So 1,800 a month. How much will it rent for?
22.
No, you're not going to give anybody 10. You give somebody 7%. Hold on a minute. Times divided by $1,200 a month. 1,283 plus you got your taxes and insurance. I don't know, $300 on top of that, so you're at 16, right? I'd maybe just bring a buyer in, bring a real buyer in, and in the beginning, cut the knees out from under them. So listen, I can't get you the whole 320. I can't get you the whole 220. If you want cash, I get you 190. And if you got a buyer there, if you got somebody that's willing to do the deal, let's see something here. 340. 238. You're at like 65 cents on a dollar the way it sits. If they, and I'm not talking about funding it for asking anybody for money to do repairs. If you could get this house rented right away, you got 2 ways to go. You could go out right now today, right, and start advertising for a cash buyer for your $299, or bring somebody to the table that's a private investor. And I'm not talking about giving the guy the whole 220,000. if you pay the investor 7% interest only, you're at what did I say, 1583, I think it was. Not the end of the world. Now you own the house, you control the house, you could turn around, clean it up, refinance it, sell it, whatever. You can be a landlord, depending on how long your term is with your investor. I push my private investors come in, they start at 5 years. You can lease option the house for a year. Now you got long-term capital gains, turn around and sell it. And you can sell it and wrap his mortgage and put a balloon on it for 3 years or whatever. Balloons are a little tricky. Forget the balloons in New Jersey. But you got other ways to go. You bring in long-term money. You can even create a contract and sell it at the closing. There's ways to do that. Depends how deep you want to get in the mud.
Right.
You're going to go back and say, listen, I would go back to them and listen, 3 things. Either you do a private money deal and buy it. It's cheap enough. You go and you find your cash guy, or you go and get a longer contract so you can swing the bat a little bit longer. Tell them, you're just getting out of the Christmas season, man. You know, the banks are just starting to get back in shape. I can't find anybody that's got that kind of cash that wants to put the money into this. They all want to buy it for 150, 160,000. And I want to give you what you're asking for. You think you're the first guy they talked to?
He said that he talked to somebody else.
Okay.
They were giving they were giving him, I think, 180. He didn't want it.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So you can start. I mean, the way to go. You can start, go back and forth. Take care, Kenneth. You can work the deal a little bit. You're not done.
Yeah, no, never
don't
done.
wait till
It's
the
not
last minute
done.
till you
It's
can't
not
do
done
anything.
until we say it's done.
The
Right.
contract expires, you're done. You can jump up and down all you want. All right.
All right.
All right. Nutty is good. It's all happened. All right. What else? What else we got going on? Garrett. Mr. Garrett is invisible. All right. What's going on, Victor? Anything good, man?
Yeah, man. I talked to what's her name? Is it Stacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Stacy. Talked to her today. We kind of put together a little plan and stuff. She's trying to, of course, sell me on doing her course and stuff.
Of course.
but yeah, I talked to her today. She gave me some guidelines, you know, kind of what we already talked about. But she suggested, go to a metal fabrication company and get them to do a proposal for me on what it would take to come in and put up the units. That'll be great because it won't cost me nothing because they'll be doing it for their work. So that'll be great. Then I'll have that proposal in place and then figure out my price per square foot, see if it's really worth it. Zoning is good. She had me check on that, but already did. I'm zone R1 right now. I mean, not R1, but I1.
So the zoning is there for what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get a plan from this. It depends how deep you want to jump into the water, bro. If you want to build this thing and run a business, that's one thing. I don't like doing that.
Yeah,
I like to get all the soldiers in place, and before I turn them loose, I sell the deal. You know? Yeah.
I might just plan it out. I actually have a guy who's in this area right now, and he was talking about partnering up on it. I may just put the whole thing together and then just sell it to him.
There's consultants out there that do these things from top to bottom.
Where would I look for that?
They've got a trade magazine out there. Look for a trade magazine online for the storage units.
Okay.
And
trade magazines.
Yeah, there's a trade magazine. I've seen it. I subscribed to it years ago. But they have companies there, these consultants that'll come in the door and build the place from scratch. They would be the guys to probably go to secondly to take a shot with because they know all the players.
Yeah. Yeah, and they already do all the research and everything.
And you might find one of them will come in the door and do their whole dog and pony research, lay the whole place out for a piece of the pie instead of you laying out your cash.
Well, that's the plan. So yeah, that's exactly that's exactly my thought. Yeah, I was on that same track. Yeah, because I'll provide the land and everything else, and we already got the zoning. I'll make sure that it's a doable project, and you just come in, put it down. We'll split however whatever works for everybody. Then I'm out of here. I'm turning the house into an Airbnb.
Sounds like you got a plan. How's the water there? Is it all level property? There's no rivers there or anything like that?
Yeah,
it's not low lying.
It's not super low lying. It's a basement property, so it's somewhat of a water table there. I have a sump pump in my basement.
I'm talking about when you go and somebody's going to come in the door, whoever, you're going to put up 20,000 square feet of storage. And they're gonna want this thing to be level. They're gonna want it, tipping over towards the river. God knows.
No. It's all good. It's all good. They'd have to grade, but it's a flat piece of land. There's no hill, no nothing like that. It's right next to the street, close to all the municipal connections. I have electricals. I already have a facility on my property that I'm getting ready. That I'm waiting for this lady to tell me if she wants to rent it for a school/after school program. And if she takes that, that's going to basically zero out all of my expenses on this property. I'll be doing everything, everything else will just be for free. And then I can just be freed up to not have to worry about any outlay on a monthly basis, because that'll cover all of my expenses if she takes it.
Oh, that's terrible. All right.
I know, right? That's the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
If you got zero monthly costs, you turn around, you just say, you build your deal, here's the land, everything.
Yep.
Just give me 10%. See you later.
See you later. And I'm outie.
And send 5% to New York.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys in the loop as it progresses. Hopefully I can pull this one off.
I think you need to open the door a little wider and talk to more people that are in that business doing it, because storage is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
You got this, Coach Victor.
There's so much money out there, public money that wants to go into building storage units, that when you listen, before you do anything else, go pull that trade paper up tonight, and you'll probably be able to look. You probably be able to look at it online.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up as soon as we hang up. Well,
yeah.
I'm doing I have to get a VA to do a whole bunch of stuff for me, so I'm doing some loom videos right now. But right after that, I'll do it.
Sounds good. All right, man. Anything else?
No, that's that. Oh, you know what? Still negotiating those 6 properties in one deal. I got my rent rolls and everything. So I'm doing, I'm figuring the numbers and everything. I'm acting as if it's, a multi-family purchase, and just doing the numbers that way. See what my ROI is. See what my cap rate and everything is on it as a whole, and see if I can get one of these DSCR lenders, and a partner, and turn this thing over with no money out of my pocket. That's what I'm working on right now.
You belong to the local RIA there?
I was just the guy who I'm buying it from runs the RIA.
Good.
And invited me in to participate.
Here's what I would do.
Yeah.
I go to the local RIA and say, I'm buying 6 houses from this character that owns this thing, and I'm looking for private money. Yeah. And here's what I need, and this is what I'm paying. I'll be in the back of the room. First guy with that's legit gets the deal. Yeah. And I stand in the back with a yellow pad. I'm telling you, I wouldn't go. Forget the loans. They're gonna torture you. Just go get private money. And most of the people that go to these RIAs are dreamers. They've got money, a lot of them. Yeah. They don't know where to put it. They don't, and they just want to get a return. Yeah. So be fair with them. Give them, and I'd ask them, what do I've got this project I want to put together. I'm raising private money for it. What, and then a lot of people might not even know what it even means.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bring it on.
My,
You know how to
my,
make that
my,
presentation?
huh?
You know how to make that presentation?
I do.
Just don't do it there. Just take their card and take them out for lunch.
Okay, got it.
Take them out of the, you want, because you know what? When you're making that presentation, when you're talking to them and you're asking them like qualifying questions, you don't want a whole lot of ears around.
Right.
I want to do business with this guy. So listen, let me get, and don't do it over the phone.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the first place I go. Man, scratch the banks up. 34-letter word.
Don't go to
Bank.
cheap restaurants.
Right.
All right, man. What else?
That's it for me. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, but if you to think about this, if you get the money you need and it's interest only, now you just locked up your deal, right? You can always build this thing up, clean them up, make sure your rent rolls are where they are. You can refinance the guy out or sell it.
Yeah, because he wants cash right up, on the barrelhead. He doesn't want to carry anything. He doesn't even really have to sell them. He's in a good position. He owns half the downtown.
So what if you gave him 15% more and gave him 20? I think each house was what, 60 grand, something like that.
Yeah, about 50. I'm paying. They're valued at about 50. I'm paying right around 30 for them.
It's like buying a used car today.
Yeah. It's a good deal. There's some cash flow, but the main thing is he's giving me at that deal because he wants to cash out. He doesn't want to carry no, doesn't want any.
So you give him what he wants.
Yep,
You give him what he wants, right? And if you're buying these properties for 50 cents on a dollar, all right, and you got your closing costs and your cost of money up front, I would turn around and I'd borrow an extra 10%. All right. So if you need, I don't know, what is it? How many houses?
6.
So just borrow $200,000, a flat 200 grand. That's easy enough to do the numbers on. You don't even just do the numbers in your head. So that's what I want. $200,000. First guy will take it right out of your IRA or whatever. And you got some dead money sitting around on rentals you're tired of. Listen, I'm willing to take trade-ins. Yeah, anything. I don't give a damn. Right. Whatever. If it's an asset, you can always sell it. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else, bro?
That's it, man.
Let's go around the circle. I got to pack the hit. I'm hitting the road. I'm driving to Florida tomorrow. So I'm going down to see Hervek.
How far is that?
Yeah, well, for me, it's about 1,300 miles.
How long does it take you?
If it's just me driving, I get down there in about 14, 15 hours.
Okay.
But if I'm driving with my wife, forget it. Take 3 days.
Steve, you got a heavy foot, man.
I give him a left lane driver. Get the hell out of the way.
Right.
So the worst part of the trip is getting around Washington, D.C. Jason, you take care, man. Let it all worked out for you. Hervek, anything you got to check in with, man?
I wanted to present I wanted to talk about a property that I spoke with the lady, and I brought up she owns a property in Columbus, Georgia. She lives in Virginia, I think, and she said that she lives in that property with her family for a little bit. They're in the military, her and her husband, or her husband at least. Good. And so he's stationed in Virginia now, and they had this property in Columbus that I assume they lived in for a little while, but she's had it vacant for like the last 3 years. She said she had a tenant in there before that. It didn't work out. And she, that left her with a bad taste. But when I presented her with the idea of seller financing, and, she didn't balk at it. And so I said, let me do my numbers and let me get back to you with an offer. My plan was to give her like the cash offer, and then the seller finance offer, maybe even give her a lease option offer, but definitely the first two, cash and seller finance. So I wanted to ask you, how would you present it?
What's the house worth?
It's worth about 125, 130.
And if it needs any work? Probably does.
From what she said, She's kept it up, you know. She said even after the tenants moved out, she did some work on it. She's kept the utilities on.
How long's the house been empty?
For 3 years.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah, 3 years is a little bit.
A long time. It's a long time. Okay, that just means you might have a real motivated person there. You had anybody check the house out?
No, I was supposed to call her today. I didn't get a chance to, but I'm thinking of calling her first in the morning and coming to her with the offer. Presenting
Well, you know what you can do? You can. Does she have any idea what she wants for the house?
She said she wanted retail value for it, and I looked, and 125 to 130 is the retail value for a property that size and that age range. It was built in 1985. Is
there a mortgage on it?
I don't know if I asked her about that or not. I'm on PropStream right now.
Yeah.
And no, PropStream doesn't have anything about a mortgage. She has some linked property. She has 4.
She's got other stuff. Well, yeah, you know what? You can. I wouldn't. Sometimes you send out multiple offers to people, and you're going to really, really scare the living shit out of them. If this house is sitting for 3 years, what do you want to do with it? You want to own it? You want to rent it? You want to flip it? What do you want to do with it? You don't know yet.
Well, if I could get into it, little money down, I wouldn't mind getting some seller financing on it, and then I'll get a family or somebody to move into it, maybe like somebody from the military. It's close to Fort Benning, I think it's called, Columbus, Georgia. And, maybe collect a nice down payment that'll cover my down payment to the seller. Maybe I could stay, purchase it on seller finance, or maybe even get a lease option on it.
Use the word lease, you might scare them. All right. Use the word option, you might scare them. But they know what a contract of sale looks like. They know what a cash offer looks like. So you can cut the knees out from under and make them a cash offer first. All cash. And if you got the house for 60 cents on a dollar or 50 cents on a dollar, what you figure it's worth, that's probably be 50 or 60, maybe 65%. And that's subject to inspection. And the second offer would be seller finance, where you give her a lot more money. Don't come out with your best offer right now. Maybe you give her $103,500, and it's broken out into payments of $500 until the house is paid in full, or $350 until the house is paid in full. And attach a letter to that and say, look, I would like to pay you more for this house, but it has been empty for 3 years. And putting aside any work the house may need, if the municipality tells me since the house has been empty over this period of time, I might have to bring the entire house up to code.
Okay.
And that could cost me another $30,000-$40,000. Right?
Yeah, she has kept.
Pick a number. All right.
Yeah.
So I would like to do business with you, but until I get some people to go by and look at it, I wanted to get this offer out to you and see if we can at least, if it's workable, then I'll take it to the next step. And I wouldn't talk about options with them yet. You can do a contract to purchase and just stretch it out. Stretch it out. Say you got 45 days to do an inspection and then close 60 days after that, whatever, man, it's up to you. You and I spoke. It's limited to your imagination. But I'd lowball them on a cash offer. Don't be surprised after 3 years they don't take your cash offer. How'd you find these people?
How'd I find them? I think like on a vacant house list that pulled off PropStream, one of those lists.
Okay. Okay. Well, if it's on PropStream as being empty, it's been on it probably for a while. So
maybe I could I think that's it.
What do you think? All right.
Yep.
Those are the ways. That's where I'd start with them. So you got a good handle as to where to go. That's where I'd start with them.
I like the idea of attaching a letter. Not making my best offer up front and then attaching a letter and say, "Hey, I'd like to maybe pay you more on this," but or send them a video. They see you. Okay. They see that you're a real person.
you know, and you can pass it. Listen, please watch the video first. I'd even put in that. And don't discuss dollars on there on the video. Just discuss. I'd like to give you more for it, but this is the reason why this, and this. All right. So, and now you'll see my offers. And if you'd like to discuss them, I hope you do. Give me a call. Let's talk. And if you got Zoom, we can Zoom call it. You know, you'll wind up doing more business if you're Zooming and people can see you face to face. You know, that works.
I've attempted. I've attempted to do that, but people are kind of reluctant to hop on Zoom.
Well, when they see that you're real, don't go out there with a muscle shirt, you know, and all this, you know. You look like you're a businessman, you know. You're not going to do this thing. You know what? You can even do it while you're sitting in your car.
Even better.
And make it real rough. You're not doing a Disney production, you know. So, and as long as you get your message across, say, listen, I'm real busy, but I wanted to get this message out to you. I'm going to send you out your offers. I'm going to send you out 2 offers this afternoon. I'm going to send them by email. You can expect them around 7 o'clock. And I'd like to talk to you at 7:30, 8 o'clock if you're going to be around. Whatever, but don't leave it open for them to call you back.
Gotcha.
Push them, squeeze them to a corner. Say, what time, you know, and I do this with everybody. I always say, I don't ever say I want to talk to you at 7 or 7:30. No. Is 7:15 good, or how about 8:45?
Okay.
You know, so all right.
I'm not the guy if they don't want to get on with telephones.
You. I'm sorry?
No, I was saying, Hervik, even if they don't want to get on with you, it raises your credibility that you even offered.
Okay.
To get on a Zoom call because you're willing to, you know, put your face out front and everything.
Show face. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if they say no, it's on them now because, you know, you came strong and, you know, you're willing to introduce yourself. And I also want to say thanks for the connect and the hookup.
I saw the message. No problem, Victor. Right. My pleasure, man.
You're also showing them that you're human. You're not some machine.
Yeah.
And that you took the step to call them, you know, off a list, and you want to show that you're following up. You don't have to get calls from anybody else. Who knows? Mm-hmm. You know how many assistants call me in the course of a week about the houses that I've got for rent down in Florida. And they don't follow up. They call me and say, listen, I'm too busy right now. Call me back in 15 minutes. You won't hear from them again at all, or you won't talk to them again for 3 or 4 weeks. It's incredible. That's your competition. You know, so. All right, Hervik, make it happen, man. Let me know how you do with that. You need help, give me a call.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. Mag, we lost you, man. Anybody else got something? It's getting a little bit late. I don't know. We got Garrett, but Garrett's floating in and out. Jonathan's here. Hervik, Mag, Victor, and Justin. If that's all we got.
That's all we got. Garrett, you going to bed, man? I need to talk to you.
I'm sorry?
I'm here.
All right, I'm going to call you after we hang up.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next Monday night. Ciao.
See you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for checking in.
Yep.